Good morning, everybody. Welcome to week 3 of poetry. I believe this is our last week of poetry, but don't quote me if we do one more week, okay? All right, we have, and I should say all of your teachers in third grade have been reading your poems. It includes Mrs. DiCarlo too, okay? I know she's been teaching our lessons as well as I have, and she will be teaching your lesson tomorrow, okay? But so all of us have really enjoyed reading all of the poems, and we can't wait to see what you guys create this week, okay? So before we get started, I want you to go grab a pencil, piece of paper, or this week's at-home learning packet. If you didn't get it and you want it, have your parents message us on Dojo, okay? So pause the video, go get your paper, pencil, or packet. Go ahead. All right, let's do it. Okay, here are your learning objectives for the week. So by the end of the week, you should be able to write down or sketch what is happening in each stanza. Remember, poems don't have paragraphs, they have stanzas. You should be able to determine the meaning of the poem and My Heart Soars. It's one of my favorite poems in this unit. Okay, you're going to write a paragraph with me that explains the theme of the poem for And My Heart Soars. Then you'll be able to identify at least 2 examples of personification in the poem April Rain Song. Okay, and then you're going to be able to show how personification helps make that poem better. And then to wrap up with Miss Lighton, later this week, you are going to write a poem about something that gives you a strong emotion, maybe makes you happy, or it can even make you very angry. And you're going to be able to use one poetic device in your poem. So remember, those poetic devices are alliteration, personification, repetition, and rhyme. Let's get into today's lesson. Okay, before we read our poem And My Heart Soars, again, make sure you have your pencil, your paper, or your at-home learning packet. Your expectation today is to fill out these 2 stanzas right here for stanza 3 and stanza 4. You can already see that I've done stanza 1 and stanza 2, which we will review. Okay, so what I'm expecting to see on Dojo today or on Seesaw is that you've completed stanza 3 and stanza 4. All right, so make sure you have your paper and pencil, and I'm going to read our poem over here, And My Heart Soars, and this is written by Chief Dan George. You can see here we have 1, 2, 3, 4 stanzas. The beauty of the trees, the softness of the air, the fragrance of the grass speaks to me. The summit of the mountain, the thunder of the sky, the rhythm of the sea speaks to me. The faintness of the stars, the freshness of the morning, the dewdrop on the flower speaks to me. The strength of the fire, the taste of salmon, the trail of the sun, and the life that never goes away, they speak to me, and my heart soars. So there's our poem. Just by looking at words, trees, air, grass, mountain, sky, sea, stars, I can tell that this poem is written about outdoors. Okay, every line has something that is outside. So I want to keep that in my mind as I'm thinking about what this poem is about. Okay. Now the assignment is to jot or draw. Okay, you can jot it, so write it, or you can draw down what each stanza means. So if I look over here again at stanza 1, I see the beauty of the trees, the softness of the air, the fragrance of the grass, and speaks to me. I think about if it's something that speaks to you, it's kind of like calling you or trying to get your attention. Okay? So I wrote down over here in stanza 1 that it has beautiful trees, soft air, the grass smells nice. And then again, he's using these words like beautiful, soft, fragrance. So that must tell me that he thinks or he enjoys nature. All right, now let's look down at stanza number 2. the summit of the mountains, so he can see the top of the mountains. He can hear thunder. He sees the rhythm of the sea. Those things speak to him. So again, I can make an inference just by looking at the way he wrote, that he is really enjoying nature. And I put over here what he can see or hear: big mountains, thunder, and the sea. Your task is to do the same things for stanza 3 and stanza 4. Write down in your chart, okay, or the one you created on your piece of paper at home, what Chief Dan George sees and how he feels about nature in each stanza. Okay, so take some time to do that now. Okay, welcome back. Hopefully you've completed stanzas 3 and stanzas 4. Okay, so if you paused and completed those two stanzas, great job. If you just kept going and you're going to do the whole assignment at the end of the PowerPoint, that's okay too, okay? You're learning at your pace and what you need. All right, so remember, we've always talked about becoming independent learners, so you have to do what you need. All right, but the expectation is still that you complete those two stanzas and you finish up the 2 details for this writing prompt right here. So here's our writing prompt. What is the theme? I should say, what is one theme of the poem And My Heart Soars? And what are 2 details to support your answer? So if you think back to school, we talked about using a RAD writing strategy where we did restate, answer, detail, detail. Okay, so our restate is basically we would take the question and we flip it into a sentence, and then we add the answer to that sentence. Who remembers the strategy for turning the question into a sentence? Think what we did. Okay, if you said cross off the question words, excellent job. So if I look at our writing prompt, what is the theme of the poem? I can see that we have a question words of what is. So I'm going to cross that off. And then what I'm left with should be our restate or our sentence starter. The theme of the poem And My Heart Soars. Oh, we got to get rid of this question mark. And we are going to add the word is. Okay. So the theme of And My Heart Soar is, and I'm going to kind of switch this because there can be more than one theme in a poem or a text. So I'm going to switch this to one theme of And My Heart Soars is. So if you look at everything in those 4 stanzas, right, the way Chief Dan George, spoke about nature and the adjectives he used and the poetic devices he used, we get this feeling that he believes nature is beautiful. It calls to him. It speaks to him. He can't help but noticing it. He's in awe of its beauty. So that would be the theme of our poem. Okay. Oh, Miss Riley has a typo here. Let me go back and fix that. One theme of And My Heart Soars is nature is beautiful. You know, Miss Riley is not a great speller. Okay, so now we just have our restate and our answer in one, and now we're left with our details. Your job is to go back into the poem to find 2 details. Okay, so 2 details that proves that we think that the theme of this poem is that nature is beautiful. Okay, you are going to write it down on your sheet of paper or in your at-home packet, or this activity is even on Seesaw for you to complete. Okay, and submit it. We will be looking for our sentence starters. One detail is. Okay, and when you get to your second detail, you're going to use another detail is to start your sentences. Okay, can't wait to see your guys' writing. I miss your writing. I'm sure you don't miss it, but I do miss reading your writing. Okay, so let's just quickly review. Your tasks are to complete stanzas 3 and 4. Okay, stanzas 3 and 4. Draw or write down what is happening in each stanza, and bonus, how he feels about nature in each stanza. That's the first part of the assignment. The second part I want you to do is find the details that support our answer of nature is beautiful. So go ahead and do that. Again, piece of paper, at home packet, okay, or on Seesaw. All right, reach out if you have any questions. Can't wait to see you guys.